Ambivalence is a normal part of motivation and the change process. Motivation waxes and wanes. We need not panic in the face of ambivalence when we know that fluctuating is just what motivation does. It's in its nature, and we can work with it. When we waver in our own resolutions to exercise more or eat less fried food or read poetry or stop smoking, we feel this to be frustrating but normal. When our teenager was convinced last week that he wanted to give up pot, but now seems not so sure, it may seem intolerable. But ambivalence is normal, and learning to roll with it is the best way through. One of the great insights of the motivational therapies developed for substance problems has been just this, that ambivalence is integral to change, not an unfortunate feeling to be quashed or avoided, or a failure to get with the program. If using substances were like putting a hand on a hot stove, all downside and no upside, you wouldn't be listening to this book because your loved one wouldn't need help. There would be no ambivalence. He would have stopped a long time ago. But we're not dealing with burning hot metal. We're dealing with behavior that has an upside, often multiple upsides, at least for the people doing it and often for others as well. I drink because it lets me relax with my friends. I am funnier when I'm tipsy. I lose weight with cocaine. I focus better for my SATs with lots of Adderall. I am less depressed about my arthritis when I use OxyContin, and so on. There is a counter-argument to every one of these reasons, but that is precisely the point. Ambivalence is the pull in two directions at the same time, both of which can seem like good directions. The more this can be accepted as normal, the less people have to cling to the unrealistic idea that there's no looking back, and the more openly and effectively they can deal with their ambivalence. When clients tell us what they think we want to hear, their unswerving commitment to change, we're wary. We actually want to hear all about their ambivalence, the reasons pro and con for continuing the status quo or for changing. We know that if we are only hearing the cons of their behavior, we are only hearing half the story, and unacknowledged pros have a way of ambushing people. Similarly, if you can't tolerate ambivalence in the change process, your loved one will sense this and probably tell you only what he knows you want to hear, if he tells you anything at all. If he knows you won't go berserk, on the other hand, he'll be more likely to tell you when he's wavering. When you know about it, ambivalence can be a huge opportunity for you to help. This is important because holding to a black and white notion of unwavering commitment to change is often a setup for excessive disappointment and destroyed confidence about lapsing. Many people and their loved ones believe that if a person returns to old behavior patterns, he must not really want to change, or even worse, is just an addict who can't change. A lapse is, in fact, much more productively understood as the benefits of using outweighing the costs at that time. By understanding the benefits, we can help find competing beneficial behaviors or ways to reduce the benefits pull. It may also be that there is a cost to changing that is exerting more influence than the benefits of changing at that time. Perhaps the loss of contact with familiar friends and a mild depression are outweighing the value of stopping cocaine use. If you can tolerate thinking about his perception of the downside to changing, you will be better equipped to help alter the environment and your behavior to counter this downside. If you know he is struggling with newfound loneliness, you could plan social events that bring him together with supportive friends and family or new peers whom he does not associate with using. Allowing for people's ambivalence does not mean biding our time until they snap out of it. Understanding and appreciating why your loved one does what she does will help you have more empathy and identify how you can modify your behavior, your relationship, and her environment so you can help to support long-term change. A 45-year-old construction manager came to us to follow up a 28-day rehab stay. Saul was committed to abstinence, and as part of his plan, he attended 3 AA meetings a week, as well as working with his AA sponsor.